Arsenal. Arsenal. I really do not understand what is wrong with this club, honestly. Because at the beginning of this season, I've been rooting for Arsenal to at least clinch the EPL trophy. But unfortunately, as we speak at this moment, Manchester City is on top of the EPL log. The two of them are on 70 points, but Manchester City has better goals difference compared to that of Arsenal. But you know, when Guardiola is on top of any table, on top of any log, to take him off that log or that particular spot, number one, would be very, very difficult. And I will always liken Arsenal to the month of April, Arteta to the month of April. The other name that I would have mentioned, you know, I wouldn't like to be sanctioned by the NBC. That's why I would not mention that name. I think we might need to engage Joy to go on spiritual journey for Arsenal so that they can at least win something this very season.
Shebi,
Arsenal, please.
there's one Yoruba name people will call them, that they see the crown like this, they can't take it.
And they love to see the crown, but they cannot wear it. They cannot wear it. So that's it with football. And let's go straight to our news point. We are starting with politics. 2027 suspends as Supreme Court delays PDP ADC verdict. The Supreme Court on Wednesday reserved judgment in the leadership tussles within the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and the African Democratic Congress, ADC, heightening uncertainty over the internal stability of both parties ahead of the 2027 general elections. A five-member panel of the Apex Court, led by Justice Mohamed Gaba, fixed no date for argument after hearing argument from parties in separate appeals challenging the decisions of the lower court on the disputes. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has announced May 10 as the deadline for political parties to submit their membership registers. It also fixed the presidential and the National Assembly elections for Saturday, January 16, 2027, while the governorship and state houses of assembly elections are going to hold on Saturday, February 6, 2027. The commission further stated that party primaries, including the resolution of disputes arising from them, will be conducted between April 23, 2026 and May 30, 2026. According to INEC, campaigns for the presidential and National Assembly elections will begin on August 19, 2026, while campaigns for governorship and state houses of assembly will commence on September 9, 2026. With both major opposition political parties now entangled in multiple litigations, coupled with a looming INEC deadline, the ability to stabilize and organize a clear lineup of activities has been significantly disrupted. These have set the stage for further complications in party management and election preparations. This development has also left aspirants seeking elected positions on the platform of these parties in a state of uncertainty and despair, as the unfolding situation makes it increasingly difficult for them to determine their next line of action. While the party leadership remain uncertain about its ability to produce candidates, members are also left in the dark. Against this backdrop of instability, the PDP has remained embroiled in a prolonged internal crisis, resulting in a split into two factions, one led by Terminus Turaki, SAN, and supported by Oyo State Governor Sheyi Makinde and his Bauchi State counterpart Bala Mohammed, and the other headed by Abdurrahman Mohammed, with the backing of the FCT minister. The appellants are asking the court to set aside concurrent judgment of the Federal High Court and the Court of Appeal, which nullified the convention on the grounds of procedural breaches and internal party violations. One of the appeals was against the decision of Justice Peter Lifo, who restrained the PDP from conducting the convention after finding that the former Jigawa State Governor, Sule Lamido, was justifiably denied the opportunity to contest for the position of the national chairman of the PDP. So let me end the story there. Suspense as Supreme Court delays PDP ADC verdict. And these are the major political oppositions in the country as we speak. INEC already released the timetable for the 2027 general elections, and other political parties are putting their house in order, preparing for the 2027 election. But the PDP and the ADC, they will still have their days in court. When now is what we don't know. According to what we read in this particular story, there was no definite date given by Justice Mohammed Gabal for the hearing of this particular argument of the two parties. So whether they are going to contest in the 2027 general elections is the very big question for this moment, whether PDP, whether ADC. So members of those parties are confused. They don't know what to do next because time is fast running out. Joy.
They should have had their house in order and then start working towards it. But now that there is no headway, it seems like time is working against them.
Yes, time is working against them. So I don't want to be a prophet of doom. The APC might have it easy in 2027 elections if the Supreme Court did not rule on this particular judgment or case affecting the PDP and the African Democratic Congress. So we are folding our hands. We'll be looking at how things are going to unfold as we prepare for the 2027 general elections. Let me quickly take the second story. Alleged coup. Suspect plead not guilty, remanded in DSS custody. 6 defendants on Wednesday pleaded not guilty to a 13-count charge bordering on alleged terrorism and coup plotting before the Federal High Court in Abuja. The defendants were arraigned in suit number FHC ABJ CR 206-2026, with the prosecution led by the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, alongside the Director General of Public Prosecutions, Rotimi Oyedepo, SAN. The Punch reports that the defendants, including Major General Mohammed Ibrahim Ghana, retired, Captain Erasmus Victor, retired, Inspector Ahmed Ibrahim, Zekeri Umaru, Bukar Kashim Goni, and Abdulkadir Sani are facing charges of conspiracy to commit act of terrorism and attempting to levy war against the Nigerian state. A former Minister of State for Petroleum, Tim Priest Silva, is also listed in the charge as being at large. Counts of the charges read that you, Major General Mohammed Ibrahim Ghana, retired, Erasmus Victor, retired, and Ibrahim Ahmed, Zekeri Umaru, and others sometime in the year 2025 in Abuja, within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, conspired with one another to levy war against the states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They were further accused of failing to disclose intelligence relating to the alleged plot and not taking steps to prevent its execution, despite having knowledge of plans involving other alleged conspirators. Proceedings commenced at about 1:46 p.m. with the AGF informing the court that the charge was ready and applying for it to be read at the defendant. However, the arraignment was briefly stalled after the third defendant informed the court that his counsel was indisposed and absent. Despite this, the trial judge ruled that the defendant could take his plea without legal representation. The court stood down the matter and later resumed at 2:18 p.m. Upon resumption, the 13-count charge was read and all 6 defendants pleaded not guilty. During the plea, one of the defendants admitted recognizing a sum mentioned in the charge, but denied any link to terrorism, while another described the money as a gift and also denied involvement in any terrorist act. We all remembered what happened in 2025. Initially, it was a rumor, and much later it was confirmed by the government and, of course, the military authorities that some people, those names that I read, were involved in a coup attempt to overturn the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Unfortunately, they weren't successful, and now they are facing the music in the court of law. As we speak, they are still innocent until proven otherwise by the Federal High Court, which is the court of competent jurisdiction handling this particular case. So they had their day in court yesterday, and they all pleaded not guilty to this particular allegation coming from the federal government of Nigeria. But, you know, the hearing of the case has not started properly. So when the argument and counter-argument starts, then we'll know who is guilty and who is not guilty. And like one of them really did say that the particular amount of money that he found in his account, he thought it was a gift.
May I not receive gift that will put me in trouble?
Even when you receive gift, the gift is coming from who and for what?
For what? It's just, I can just decide to give you a gift, you know?
Awoof, they say.
They run Bele.
He's running their belly now, and they're having their days in court.
Okay, moving over, Cross River identifies 10 more persons with COVID-19 symptoms. The Cross River State government said it has identified and isolated 10 persons who interacted with a Chinese national who re-imported COVID-19 into Nigeria. The state epidemiologist Dr. Inyang Ekpenyong disclosed that the individuals were traced through contact tracing after interacting with the index case and have since been placed under movement restriction. She added that surveillance teams had visited the expatriates' workplace in Akampa to track possible exposure and prevent further transmission. Anyway, that's the thrust of the story. In Cross River, they have identified 10 more persons with COVID-19 symptoms.
Yesterday was one. I think it was only a Chinese that came into the country.
Yeah.
Now it's 10. And I was having some discussion with some people yesterday. May we never experience lockdown again.
Again, no.
If you lock anything down now, hey.
We might not be able to recover. Please, I just hope that they are able to contain this.
And even the economy is already on lockdown already. And there is tension everywhere. They should keep the COVID-19 in Cross River. They should not bring it to Lagos, please. Please.
Let's continue to maintain our washing of hands, sanitizers, use your masks if you have a flu, you know, just to be careful.
I know the guy must have passed through some states before getting to Cross River. I hope it was not in Lagos. And I know Nigerians, this is the time they would love to cash in on, what is it called now?
Face masks.
Sanitizers.
Face masks.
Face mask. Those days. We were drinking all sorts of things. You know, you drink coffee in the morning, drink the other one
we're drinking salt water, you know, but please. And if you feel sick, if you don't feel okay.
They made babies during COVID.
Please, if you don't feel okay, please go to the hospital. Please.
All right, those are the news points. We'll go to the X platform now. So many things trending this morning. Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester City. But we have chosen to stay with the Honorable Minister of Power, the former minister now of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, who resigned his appointment yesterday from the cabinet of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And when you go to the X platform, different comments. Some people were happy that he actually stepped down yesterday. And he actually wrote a letter to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation saying that he has stepped down from his position, signaling the major shift in the country's power sector. And this development comes just weeks after the minister publicly denied reports of any such move. Like I always say, you know, politicians in this country, never you trust them. They say good morning today when it is night. And, you know, a lot of tantrums being thrown at the Honorable Minister, Adebayo Adelabu, arguably one of the worst in Nigeria's history, recently resigned to contest for governor of Oyo State. What will he do as a governor? The same man who introduced the dumbest band A, B, C, and D electricity policy, which left many Nigerians in darkness and even paying more for electricity. And then the Minister of Power, former Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, has tendered his resignation. He should take his darkness to his house. You know, a whole lot on the X platform, talking about the resignation of the Honorable Minister of Power, Mr. Bayo Adelabu. And then there's a particular picture here. I hope my producer will show the picture where he was crowned as the Oloku Konfoku of Nigeria. Well, now that he's no longer the minister, I hope they are going to remove that crown from his head. And Who is Mr. President going to appoint next as the Honorable Minister of Power? And I hope that the next minister that will be coming into that sector would not be the Olokukum Brimu one of Nigeria. But there are rumors here and there that Mr. President already anointed the candidacy of Senator Sharafaddin Ali. So whether that is true or not, only time will tell. But, you know, some people are also doing some political calculations saying that Adelabu might be the one to take the senatorial ticket from Sharafaddin Ali, while Sharafaddin Ali will be the governor of Oyo State.
They are swapping.
Yes, they are doing like this. They are swapping positions.
Okay.
Well, it's still a rumor anyway. So congratulations to Adebayo Adelabu. At least for now, Nigerians will not abuse him again. He will go home and rest. Congratulations once again.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be taking a very short break at this moment. My producer is saying something, that he was very big when he was appointed.
But now he has...
he has trimmed down.
Why won't you trim down? Is Nigeria a joke?
May I never be appointed as the Honorable Minister of Power in Nigeria. I will reject it. Never. Never.
You do well now.
Oh, okay. Well. I don't want. All right, we'll take a break at this moment. And when we come back, a very disturbing moment in the world economy because of crisis rocking the Middle East right here in Nigeria. An oil-producing nation, we are making more in terms of resources as a nation, but back home, we are paying more for petrol, PMS. And the aviation industry is also in danger because of the crisis rocking the Middle East. That will be the first conversation on the program today. And that conversation, I'm going to be having it with Wole Shadari, who is an aviation analyst on the program right after this break. Stay with us.